Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Bulldog Pit in Artesia, New Mexico, the opening round of the 2022 NMAA State 4A Basketball Tournament. Alongside Dawn Morgan, I'm TJ Miracle. Megan Otto in studio engineering and producing, a familiar sight for us
Yes,
here in the last 4 years. Matter of fact, this is the second time in 4 years that we've had an opening round playoff game here in Artesia. And if you actually go back to the COVID year last year, the final game of the regular season was really a playoff game for both of these teams, and it was in this building. So seems to be a familiar spot for the Lovington Wildcats and the Artesia Bulldogs in the first round of the playoffs.
Although it's not of their choosing necessarily, it's because of NMAA planning and, of course, the way that the games fell at the end of the season, and then with the seeding, the way that it went. And it actually feels kind of like a shame and kind of like a manipulation to pit the teams together from southeast New Mexico to knock one of them out, before we get to the quarterfinals and knock one of them, out from being able to advance any further. So it does feel like a knock. I don't, hopefully it's just going to make Lovington's resolve that much more to come on out. They've beaten Artesia in this season already. They know they can, and they really need to now. And everything else is irrelevant until we get to this point, because you look at this game and it's a one and done. It's a must-win, move on. And it doesn't matter. It wouldn't matter if Lovington had lost 10 straight times to Artesia. It wouldn't matter if Artesia had lost 10 straight times to Lovington. It comes down to this game at this time at the Bulldog Pit. The winner moves on and gets another game in the state tournament, although that game is going to be against the number 1 ranked team in 4A in the state.
Yeah, it certainly is. And, you woulda, coulda, shoulda, and you think about things that might have been. And, of course, here we are in the tournament in Artesia once again. Of course, we were here a week ago, Friday night,
right,
for the district championship game. Lovington, having to play 3 games in 4 days, really I think was just completely and totally out of gas in that one. Lost that game 62-38, and it was once again the Nick Sanchez show for the Artesia Bulldogs as he put up 24 points on Lovington, and really just more than they could overcome. It was a close game early, but Artesia just stretched it out late as Lovington ran out of gas. Tayton Hilliard, the only cat in double figures, he had 11 points in that ball game, but you look at the scoring from last Friday night, 12 points, 10 points, 9 points, 7 points. I mean, they were just gassed by the end. They should not be gassed tonight, though.
Nope.
They've had a week to prepare, a week to think about it, and a week to get ready. They know how to win in this building. They've done it before, and they'll have to do it again tonight. Of course, we've always said the Bulldog Pit is worth about 10 points for this Artesia team. It's just one of those great home field, in this case, home court advantages for this Artesia team. So Lovington's just going to have to come out and play with that much more fire and intensity.
That's true. I mean, Artesia gets to practice in this gym, play in this gym all the time, and they're accustomed to the open, the open ends, as they speak. It's a different look in this gym than it is in most high school gyms across the state. And until you get in the pit, it's very much the look of the pit in Albuquerque. And the sight lines are just a little bit different. Now the distance to the goal, it's supposed to be the very same. So it's just a matter of, I think it's a mental thing and just a little bit of a visual thing. If the teams can just come out, if Lovington will come out and get their shooting hotter earlier. They had a very cold shooting game. That was one of the problems this time last week, last Friday, is they shot about 29% from the floor. And that's as opposed to about 62% for Artesia.
Yeah, and if you only shoot, 1 in 3, less than 1 in 3, it is going to be a long night. I don't care where you're playing.
That's right.
So you're going to have to do a better job than that tonight. Of course, the Wildcats will be looking to do that. They know, and this is a senior-laden team, that it is win or go home, and the winner gets to go to Albuquerque on Wednesday night to play Highland, which is the number 1 team in the state. Of course, Lovington played Highland a couple of seasons ago, and again, it was one of those, they just kind of ran out of gas at the end games, but it's going to be one of those matchups that both of these teams, I think, are looking forward to.
Yeah.
But both of these teams know they've got to get through the other one first to get there.
You bet. Lovington looking for redemption, looking to prove that they had a one heck of a week last week, and they came through like troopers, and they just came within half a game of really being able to to get seated a little higher and not have to play this game here against Artesia. So I think they're looking to make a statement and to, just to say, you know what, we are a better team than our record this season, although the record is plenty fine.
Yeah, 20-8.
That's right.
It's the fifth or sixth best record in the state.
And even better than that, they lost several of those games by just 1, 2, 3 points. So I think they're looking to continue their season. They're not ready to give up yet, and to hang up the basketball shoes for the year before they have a chance to get some back, as they say, against Artesia here. So let's hope that the week-long rest and that attitude, they come out solid, strong, focused, and ready with a hot hand in their shooting to really get something going. They're going to really have to contain Nick Sanchez as well in this game, as well as to get their own offensive going strong and move through quickly, aggressively, play to their strengths, try to play their game and not just play defense and reaction against Artesia.
Well, yeah, you're absolutely right. One of those things tonight is going to be cleaning off the glass.
Oh,
Rebounding is going to be vitally important. How many times last Friday night did we see Artesia getting 3, 4, 5 looks at the basket? We got out-rebounded 41-27 in that ball game, and so you can't get out-rebounded that much and, again, have a legitimate chance of winning. So a lot of things that the Cats are going to have to do tonight, but we know they are capable of it. As we continue through the Wildcat pregame show, we have to take a moment to thank our friends over at Pecos Valley for helping us secure the video rights for this game, and Gene Dow and his crew helping us secure the video rights for tonight's game, and we appreciate that. And of course, we purchased them from the NMAA with permission from the Artesia schools and from our friends at Pecos Valley. So we appreciate their help. Just want to get that out there publicly. So, because of that, we do get to video stream tonight's game in addition to it being here on Z94 KZOR.
A pretty decent contingent has driven over from Lovington for this game. We've got a pretty good amount of blue up in the stands, so glad to see that. So this gym is a noisy one, we know, with a healthy home,
pretty good.
With a healthy home crowd, it's going to be it's definitely going to be loud and a little bit rocking. So you hear the Artesia Pep Band playing in the background. So we will definitely have a game to remember tonight.
Well, we certainly do, and no matter how it turns out, we want it to turn out for the Wildcats' favor, but we just hope that we get a good game tonight. We'll take a 2-minute timeout, come back and continue. This is Wildcat Playoff Basketball on Z94 KZOR. Lovington Wildcat basketball is also brought to you tonight by our friends at D&L Meters. For all of your metering needs, call the good folks at D&L Meters in Lovington. D&L Meters, proud supporters of Lovington Wildcat basketball. Back here at the Bulldog Pit alongside Don Morgan, I'm TJ Miracle, Megan Auto in studio engineering and producing as we continue the Wildcat pregame show, getting ready for this opening round of the 2022 NMAA State Tournament. The Cats and the Dogs, two district opponents, meeting each other in the first round, 8 versus 9. We've, I think, already gone on that enough. One thing we saw Friday night, Dawn, again, when these two teams were right back here, Lovington, the transition game just did not work. They were not able to get a whole lot of press, and they did not move the ball very effectively or efficiently, especially in that second half against this Bulldogs team. So if your defense isn't working and you're not making good passes and you're not forcing turnovers, that's trouble for the Wildcats. But, again, that is something that they are more than capable of doing.
Yeah, they're definitely capable of making that adjustment. They're very well conditioned, so they're in shape. They're not having to wear their masks now, so they should be able to set a good pace and hang with it.
Well, I think that's going to be the key. You said it is the pace.
Yes.
Lovington can run pretty much any team that's probably not the Hobbs Eagles or maybe the Las Cruces Bulldogs. When they're at full strength and, they're not fatigued as much, they can run any team in this state absolutely into the court.
Sure.
And I think that's something that they're going to have to do tonight against Artesia. Not to say Artesia isn't athletic, because they are, but they are not used to playing that pace that Lovington can force you into.
And the Lovington really, if they come out and their shooting isn't as hot as they'd like it, then they're definitely going to have to work on cleaning off the glass, getting up there, getting rebounds, and denying, trying to get second and third looks for themselves, giving themselves more offensive opportunities, and trying to, get themselves in position for those offensive rebounds, and just try to deny Artesia the basketball at every turn that they can. They're going to have to just play that, and they're going to have to play with that intensity and that fire and that pace for the entire 4 quarters. So, and they've had the week off. They should be able to do that, ready to do that, mentally, physically prepared for this game. I think they will be, and we just hope that they'll make those kinds of adjustments, as to when the game gets going and they see what they need to do, what they can do, and what's happening, that they'll definitely make the adjustments that they need to make to keep themselves hopefully in the lead against Artesia. And
well, and that's going to be important, too. Get off to a fast start.
Get off to a good, fast start. Get a lead built up. They can't afford to let Artesia get too much of a lead. The first half, despite their cold shooting last week, they were able to keep it within about 10 points during that first half. It really was only in the second half that Artesia came out really, really started putting them away and stretching out their lead. So Lovington, if they can't stay ahead, they need to at least keep it close and not let Artesia get away with it too much.
And Lovington will be in the road blues with the white letters and numbers. Artesia will be in the home whites with the orange letters and numbers. Starting lineups tonight here at the Bulldog Pit for the home team, Artesia Bulldogs. It'll be number 3, Nick Sanchez, their point guard and leader. Number 4, Cameron Thorpe. Number 24, Jake Barrera. And then they're going with the Twin Towers inside. Number 42, Riley Jarrett. And number 44, Zapeth Zamaron. For the Lovington Wildcats, your starting 5 tonight will be number 3, Adam Aguilera. Number 4, Tayton Hilliard. Number 5, Isaac Henson. Number 23, Zadrick Betancourt. And number 24, Joseph Perez. So a little bit different lineup tonight than we have seen. We have seen this starting 5 before.
We have.
But with Betancourt and Perez, that's really, I think, being done by Coach Pack to get more of a presence in the paint. So we're getting ready to do the introductions and the national anthem. We'll take a timeout, come back with the tip-off. Wildcat basketball here on Z94 KZOR. Lovington Wildcat Playoff Basketball on Z94 KZOR is also presented tonight by Battle Energy. Battle Energy for all of your oil field service and energy needs. Call the good folks at Battle Energy. Proud to be supporters of Lee County and Lovington Wildcat Athletics. Back here at the Bulldog Pit, getting ready for the start of this opening round game of the 2022 NMAA 4A Boys State Tournament. Of course, a triple header tonight across our family of stations and streams. The Hobbs Eagles taking on Farmington right now on our sister station, Cool 95.7. And on the Lee County News and Sports YouTube channel, Jowl is taking on Clayton down in Jowl. So the main event, though, for us here tonight at the Bulldog Pit, as the teams being introduced again, your starting five for the Wildcats tonight. Number 3, Adam Aguilera. Number 4, Tayton Hilliard. Number 5, Isaac Henson. Number 23, Zadrick Betancourt. And number 24, Joseph Perez. The Cats 20-8 on the year under head coach Casey Pack. For Artesia, their starting lineup tonight: number 3, Nick Sanchez; number 4, Cameron Thorpe; number 24, Jake Barrera; and then number 42, Riley Jarrett; and 44, Zapeth Zamaron. We mentioned this briefly before we went to break a couple of minutes ago, Dawn. Zadrick Betancourt tonight getting the start.
Right.
For the Lovington Wildcats, and I think really done kind of to give them some more presence underneath and in the middle.
Yeah, definitely so. Zadrick's got a little height, and he's accustomed to shuffling into the low post position, and I think that's going to be important tonight to try to counteract those twin towers of Jarrett and Zamaron, but also hopefully that the subs coming in will also give some fresh legs to Lovington if they are trying to play a pretty high intensity, high pressure, fast-paced game. Hopefully Mason Enriquez will be used. Mason sparks them up a lot of times, and Mason, for not one of their taller players, he's got some ups. He's able to really get up, jump up, and pull down rebounds and force some steals. And they've it's been a really good team effort. So when one or two players, isn't showing up as well, usually another player or two will step in and step up and do that. But, they definitely have good subs coming in. Joey Villalobos, Julian Arroyo as well. So this is going to be important tonight, I think, to go with whoever's hot and whoever can help you the most and ride that horse till it's done.
Well, ride the hot hand and do the best you can, okay?
Right.
Hey, they finally turned the lights back on. Does that mean the LA Lakers-esque stuff is over? No, now they're doing their normal introductions.
Right.
Oh, I do like playing here. It is a nice facility. Nothing like the friendly confines back in Lovington, but this is kind of a home away from home, it feels like at times. So getting ready for the start of this one. Again, we'd like to thank all the good folks who make Wildcat basketball possible here in the playoffs, including our friends at IPS, Glasgow Construction, Bob Thriftway, DNL Meters, Battle Energy, Norley Hospital, Now Pharmacy, the Lovington Schools, Lee County Electric Cooperative, First American Bank of Lovington, R360, King Oil Field Services, and Eunice Pump and Supply. Couldn't do it without their help and support here on Z94 KZOR Hobbs Lovington. Also online on the Z94 KZOR app, on the Lovington Sports YouTube channel, and on the Lovington tab at HobbsAmerica.com. Please subscribe to the Lovington Sports YouTube channel. Remember, when we get to 1,000 subscribers, we will give one lucky subscriber $100 in cash. Matter of fact, I will give one lucky subscriber $100 cash. So, you know what? Tell your friends and family, subscribe, and you may just get some of TJ's money. Subscribe to the Lovington Sports YouTube channel. So the introductions are done. The hype is just about over, and it is just about game time. The Cats under head coach Casey Pack. The Dogs under head coach Michael Mondragon. There is no tomorrow, so play for today. As heading into the Big Bulldog at the center, Tayton Hilliard will take the jump against Riley Jarrett, and we are ready. Opening round of the 2022 NMAA State Basketball Tournament from here in Artesia. The crowd's on their feet, and here we go as the opening tip controlled by the Artesia Bulldogs, and it'll be Nick Sanchez to control it as he takes it up the left side of the court. Bulldogs moving from the left to the right. Hilliard is on him, giving him a couple of inches, a little pick set. by Jarrett as they'll go to the right corner. Thorpe bobbles it, but holds on to it. Deep corner goes inside, and that one is going to be pulled away, but somehow Zamrin keeps it. Gets it out top of the arc. 3 ball on the way, and that one will be missed by Barrera. And the rebound was made by Jarrett, but he is going to be fouled quickly. Or are they going to call the foul on Jarrett? They're going to call the offensive foul on Jarrett. They're going to say he pushed off. So the first personal, first team foul. So Jarrett wiped that rebound out, and it'll be Lovington basketball. No score, 30 seconds in as Tate will run the point. Gets it into the front court to Aguilera. In front of the Wildcat bench. Top of the arc to Perez, now to Betancourt. He'll take it to the left wing, now back top of the arc. The high inlet pass to Henson. He'll toss it back out. Left corner, Betancourt on the way for 3. There we go, and bang! Zadrick Betancourt gets the Cats on the board and quickly knocked away under pressure as Coach Casey Pack already fired up. 3-0, Cats in the lead. That was good ball movement there, Dawn.
It certainly was. Cats doing what they need to do. Let's just hope they're consistent throughout the game with that.
Thorpe will inbound it to Sanchez. Takes it into the left lane. Pushes up the little leaner, and he is going to be fouled. He'll go to the line for 2. Coach Pack already barking at the officials. Now barking at his own guys. They're going to call the hack foul on Isaac Henson. That'll be Isaac's first personal and the first team foul on the Wildcats. So that'll put Sanchez at the line to shoot 2. 7:08 remaining in the first. Lovington leading 3-0. Sanchez about a 62% free throw shooter on the season. Puts up the first, and it is in and out. So Lovington still in the lead, and Artesia still trying to crack the scoreboard. Adam Aguilera getting some instructions as the second shot goes up from Sanchez, and it is good. So 3-1, Lovington in the lead. 1 minute is gone here in this one. Tate into the front court, gives it off to Adam. He'll cycle it around to Zadrick. Working on the left side. Little bump there by Sanchez, who looks in disbelief back at the bench as he bumped Isaac. That'll be his first personal, second team foul on the Bulldogs. Looks like they're going to call this one a little close tonight, Dawn.
It does. Whistles are already sounding.
Isaac will flip it in, gets it to Tayton near the timeline, near side. Tayton, little crossover, will hand it off to Aguilera. Work it around to Zadrick to the left wing. Now to Henson, top of the arc. Getting the move in, and from the right elbow, 15-footer is good. Up and over everybody. Tayton Hilliard drains it. 5-1, Lovington in the lead. Bad pass, it'll go into the backcourt, and Sanchez will get it, and they're going to call the backcourt violation, and that'll be the first turnover for Artesia. Give it back to Lovington in the offensive zone. Lovington basketball, and from the left of the broadcast table, inbounding, it'll be Aguilera. He'll toss it into Tayton, who leaves it right back off for Adam. Adam near side to Betancourt, who just waits for something to happen. Zadrick gets it in. Single pass over to Aguilera in front of the Artesia bench. They work it back around, and they're going to call the travel on the little slide step by Hilliard. First turnover for the Cats. Give it back to Artesia. 6:24 to go in the first. 5-1. Cats in the lead over the Dogs.
Lovington needs to force as many turnovers as they can and make points off them and work on not giving up the ball. Bulldogs
to the front court, throw it underneath on the fastball. Get it into Jarrett. Nobody covering him on the baseline, and Jarrett with the easy layup. 5-3, Lovington in the lead. 2 minutes have expired. Hilliard to the front court, signals the offense. Give it to Isaac. Henson will drive it to the lane, kicks it out. Betancourt, right corner, 3 ball on the way. It is off the side. Fight for the rebound, and Zadrick will save it, but saves it into the hands of Jarrett. He's got the breakaway, and he'll miss the layup, but is fouled. And I think Isaac's picked up 2 quick personals. Or is it going to be on Aguilera? They'll put it up on Adam Aguilera. His first personal, second team foul, and so that'll put Jarrett at the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, this looks definitely like it's going to be a closely called ball game. That's fine as long as it's fair both ways. As long as they close,
as long as it's
not swallowing their whistle on one team and calling a lot of fouls on the other. As long as it's fair and even, that's what
Jarrett
you know
at the line puts up the first and misses the first. He's about a 50-50 ball when it comes to the charity stripe. As Betancourt checks out, checking in will be Julian Arroyo for the Wildcats. Jarrett at the line, missed the first. He'll eye the second. Bends the knees, puts it up, and that one will go through. 5-4, Lovington in the lead. On a bit of a scoring drought, though. 5:45 remaining in the first. Hilliard up the far sideline, brings it to the front court, picks up the dribble to Aguilera to Arroyo. The sophomore will cycle it around, get it to Tayton. And he'll drive into the free throw line, slides a little bit, no look pass, deep left corner, Isaac for three, and that one is going to be in and out. It'll be Jarrett with his second rebound of the ball game. Leave it off for Sanchez. He'll bring it into the front court. Goes between the legs. Now pushes off. Gets it into the right lane for Becerra, and he will lay it up and in. On the drive, Jake Barrera lays it in and gives the Bulldogs the 6-5 lead. Now's the dangerous time for the Cats. Hilliard will pull up from 15 and drains it. Tayton has been working on that mid-range jumper, looks like. So they'll get it to Thorpe. Push it to the far baseline with Jarrett. Now back out to Thorpe. Top of the arc. A little head fake goes in. Puts up the push shot, and they'll call the charge on Jarrett. It'll be Lovington. No, they are going to. Yep, they call the charge. So that'll be the charge on Thorpe. His first personal, third team foul, second turnover on Artesia. 7-6, Lovington in the lead. 4:50 remaining in the first. One official signaled charge, the other one signaled block. So I was waiting on that one. To Aguilera, he takes it to the right block. Now get it off to Perez. Hippity hop into the near right block, puts up the shot. Fight for the rebound, will go out of bounds. Last touched by Artesia. It'll be Lovington basketball on the right baseline. And a whistle sounds and timeout taken by Coach Michael Mondragon. 4:35 remaining in the first. Lovington 7, Artesia 6. We're back in 30 on KZO1.
No, they're playing.
Oh, well, they are back playing. So it'll be Tayton with it, and he gets stripped in the turnover. Coming back is Diego Wesson, who just checked into the game. The high pass to save it out. Gets it over to Sanchez. Sorry about that. I thought he'd called the timeout. I guess maybe they said, no, you didn't. No, keeping it will be Sanchez. Hands it off near side to Wesson. Now to the corner to Thorpe. Thorpe works around, tries to get it inside. He will to Deans, and the ball is going to be knocked away and comes out. And they're talking about which way it's going to go, and they're going to say Artesia basketball. Coach Pack thought it was Lovington basketball. Unfortunately, he may be wearing a white jacket, but it doesn't have black stripes on it. So it'll stay Artesia ball in front of the Lovington bench as Thorpe will inbound it. Looks to get it into Sanchez. He will on the bounce. Checking in Javier Corrales. Throw the fastball inside. That one is going to get away from Deans and go out of bounds. And that'll be the third turnover for Artesia. Give it back to Lovington. Halfway through a fast-moving first period. 7-6, Lovington in the lead. Here you'll run the offense as he crosses the center stripe. Picks up the dribble, bounce pass over to Arroyo on the right side, cycles top of the arc. To Aguilera, and there'll be an offensive foul called on Corrales. Javier's first personal, third team foul, and that'll be the third turnover for Lovington. They worked the shot around, but the offensive foul called away from the basketball. That's a bad foul. So back to Artesia, Lovington leading 7-6. Sanchez into the front court, gets a screen from Deans, takes it to the left side, almost loses the basketball, saves it in. They get it to Dean. It's going to be blocked out into the hands of Hilliard. He'll push it forward and right back into the hands of Sanchez. The teams trade turnovers. Sanchez to the front court, to the free throw line, dumps it underneath to Jarrett. The little hook shot is up and good. And Jarrett with 5 points.
Lovington kind of has to watch that. On a steal, on a turnover, sometimes if it gets stolen right back, they have a hard time with that transition.
Tayton moves to a 10-footer, puts up the mid-range jumper, and it kisses the front of the iron and right into the hands of Jarrett. Nobody to rebound. 8-7, throw the fastball underneath, and the shot is up, no good, and the rebound going to be brought down by Perez. As Dean's going to run over Arroyo, and Deans will pick up his first personal. Pretty sure they're going to call that on Deans. The Artesia faithful not liking it, but you can't run over a guy like that. Yep, it'll be on Deans. His first personal, fourth team foul. Stays Lovington basketball. Corrales will inbound it from the near side in front of the broadcast table. They are calling fouls away from the ball, so something to pay attention to maybe later in the game.
They are.
As it'll be Hilliard off the inbound, gives it to Isaac in front of the Artesia bench. Cycles it around off of a pick set up by Betancourt, check back into the ball game. To Tayton, tries to drive it in, but is going to be pushed out by two Bulldogs. Used up his dribble to the three-point line, top of the arc, and bang, Javier Corrales. Corrales drains the tray, and Lovington back up 10-8. 2:35 remaining, first quarter. Back and forth affair here at the Bulldog pit. Sanchez brings it to the near side. Tayton on him to Deans at the free throw line. Swings it over to Wesson. Thinks about the three. Arroyo gets there quickly. Back out top of the arc. And losing the handle on the ball is Thorpe. Fifth turnover for Artesia. Isaacs Gonna get it off of the turnover and hand it off to Hilliard. Tayton to the front court. Gets the pick and then the screen from Betancourt. Takes it to the right block and puts it up and in and out. And another rebound by Jarrett, his fourth. How did that not drop? To Wesson, who loses the basketball but corrals it before it goes out. To Jarrett to Thorpe in front of the Lovington bench on the left side. Now back out near the timeline. Sanchez works against Corrales. Tries to drive in on three. Cats. Thinks better of it. Uses up the dribble and got away with the travel to Thorpe. NBA three on the way. That one is off the mark. And somehow it'll be saved by Jarrett. Gets his fifth rebound. He'll give it to a cutting Thorpe. It goes in, won't fall, and out of bounds. No rebound, and it'll be Lovington basketball. Again, they've got to do a better job on the glass. They are getting out-rebounded right now 5-1 with 99 seconds to go in the first. So the officials talking about something just in front of our place here at the broadcast table courtside. I think telling them to watch out for something. Both Coach Mondragon and Coach Pack have been barking at him. It's the old saying with politicians and officials, if everybody's mad, you must be doing something right. Hilliard into the front court. Lovington leads by 2. 90 seconds remaining in the first. To Arroyo, to Betancourt. Still working about 5 feet out from the top of the arc. To Henson, and he's going to get bumped by Barrera. No call. It'll stay Lovington basketball. As Jarrett will check back in for Deans. So they've got the Twin Towers in with Jarrett and Zamaron. So from the far left sideline, inbounding it'll be Isaac. He'll get it into Tayton. Hilliard will move it around, works against Wesson. 1:18 remaining, and a whistle sounds. And timeout going to be taken by Coach Casey Pack as Tayton is barking at his teammates. I think something not real happy about it. So the 30-second timeout, we'll take it with them. 10-8, Lovington in the lead. Back in 30 on KZOR. Wildcat basketball out of the Lovington timeout, and inbounding it'll be Henson to Hilliard. To Betancourt, they'll cycle it around top of the arc. Throw it inside, and Arroyo loses it. And that'll be the fifth turnover for the Wildcats. You hate to use a timeout then bobble it away.
Bad turnover.
With Dawn Morgan, I'm TJ Miracle, Megan Otto in studio engineering and producing. So back into the hands of the Bulldogs. 10-8, Lovington in the lead. 1 minute remaining in the first quarter.
3 of 7 shooting for Artesia so far. 4 of 8 for Lovington.
Sanchez bounces it out to Barrera. Works between the rings. Betancourt on him. They'll give it to Zamaron. Top of the arc. And then we've got a hold away from the basketball. And they're going to call that on Lovington. As I think they're going to whistle that one on Arroyo. Wow, they're going to get that on Isaac. That'll be his second personal. 4th team foul. So it'll stay Artesia basketball. So Isaac's going to have to sit with 2 personals. Adam Aguilera comes in his place. Diego Wesson out, coming back in Cameron Thorpe for the Bulldogs. Betancourt, Aguilera, Hilliard, Arroyo, and Perez on the floor for the Wildcats. Barrera to Sanchez, picks up the dribble, needs some help. Coming over is Barrera. NBA 3 right wing on the way. That one is off the mark, and Tayton skies, and he'll get the rebound.
Great rebound there.
Tayton gets run over from behind, no call, brings it across into the offensive zone for the Wildcats. 31 seconds remaining, Lovington up by 2, 10-8. Tayton a little crossover to the free throw line, tries to split 4 Bulldogs, puts up a fall away, and rebound made by Jarrett. He's got all 6 rebounds for the Bulldogs. 19 seconds to go in the first. Sanchez goes in, works against 3 Cats, picks up the dribble, will have to toss it to Barrera. Now to Thorpe, bounce pass to Zamaron on the left baseline and put it up. He'll get the bucket and the foul. Wow. Bad foul for the Cats. Zamaron had the lane, and they're going to come in and get the push. Going to call that on Betancourt. That'll be his first personal, 5th team foul on the Cats. And Zamaron will go to the line for the and one.
And it ties it up at 10 apiece with 9 seconds left on the clock in this first quarter.
Zamaron puts up the and one, and that one is going to be off the mark, and Tatum will have his second rebound. Hilliard keeps it himself with 6, with 5, takes it to the right base, puts up the little push shot, no good, but Betancourt is there with the rebound and the putback at the buzzer. We head to the second. Lovington 12, Artesia 10. Back in a minute. Wildcat playoff basketball on Z94 KZOR. Welcome back to Lovington Wildcat basketball here on Z94 KZOR. Cats lead 12-10 here at the Bulldog Pit. The Cats and the Dogs. Lovington Artesia in the opening round of the 2022 NMAA 4A state tournament. With Dawn Morgan, I'm TJ Miracle. It'll be Lovington basketball as we start this second quarter, as it'll be Arroyo to inbound it for Lovington. Arroyo, Hilliard, Aguilera, Perez, and Betancourt on the floor for the Cats. Aguilera with it to Perez, top of the arc. Now they'll swing it around to Zadrick. Bounce pass inside, gets it to Arroyo. Pushes off, and an air ball up, and that'll be the 7th rebound for Jarrett. Jarrett will just push it forward, gets it to Sanchez into the front court. He works against Aguilera. Tosses into the deep right corner. Barrera, 3-ball on the way, and that one is good. You don't get somebody in his face, he'll make you pay. 5 points for Barrera. And the back and forth continues, 13-12. Now Artesia. Tatum will split in the right lane. Puts up a shot, no good, but he's fouled. He'll head to the line for 2. First trip to the line tonight for the Wildcats. They're going to whistle that one on Jarrett. His second personal, 5th team foul on Artesia.
13-12. Artesia leading by 1 point early in this second quarter.
Tatum at the line. Puts up the first and falls off. He's improved his shooting. He's up over 60% now after spending a lot of the season right around 50-50, but misses the first. So our score is still 13-12 Artesia. Tatum will put up the second, and he gets that one to fall. 5 points for Hilliard, and we are tied again at 13 apiece. Push it forward, and that one is going to be knocked away. Great hustle play by Perez to get to that one, to knock it out of the hands of Deans, as that one will go all the way up the tunnel. And wow, they're going to say Deans got it last. So Lovington basketball, that'll be the 6th turnover for the Bulldogs.
Good transition there for Lovington.
Yes, it was. Got back quickly on defense. Handed off to Arroyo as Julian just does a football handoff to Aguilera to Tatum. Tries to drive in, now he will on the left base. They'll work it around. Arroyo to the right block, puts up the push shot. It is in and out, no good. And Zamaron with the rebound, his first. First person not named Jarrett to get a rebound for the Dogs. Sanchez to the free throw line, runs into a blue wall. Gonna move it out back in front of the broadcast location. Perez keeping on him tight. Looks for some room. He'll go in, fall away from 15. That one is off the mark, and the rebound going to be made this time by Deans. Artesia will reset at the free throw line. Zamaron puts up a shot, and it'll be Sanchez with the rebound. He'll swing it around to Thorpe, right wing for 3. That one is off the mark, and Deans with another rebound, and he'll feed it in to Jarrett, who will lay it up and in.
5 looks at the basket.
Excuse me, that was Thorpe with the rebound, not Jarrett, and the putback. So yeah, too many looks for Artesia. 15-13, Artesia in the lead. Lovington basketball as Arroyo hands it to Hilliard. He takes it to the right elbow, goes behind the back, bobbles, and we'll have a travel called before Tatum can get rid of it. 6th turnover for the Wildcats. Give it to the Bulldogs. 6:02 to go, first half. 15-13, Artesia in the lead.
Lovington needs to make something good happen for them right here and turn that momentum back around for themselves.
Right now, a 5-1 run for Artesia. Sanchez hands it off to Barrera. Works it from the right to the left. Picks up the dribble. Gives it to Thorpe and goes into the backcourt. Somehow saves it right into the hands of Tatum. He'll feed it forward to a breaking Aguilera. but he almost loses it as Artesia got back quickly in the transition defense. Toss it left corner, Aguilera for three, and that one is off the mark, and Deans will have his third rebound. One and done again for the Wildcats.
Although there was a fight for that rebound, going up for it, just Artesia won the battle.
5:20 remaining first half, 15-13 Artesia in the lead, opening round of the playoffs. Sanchez works against Aguilera, gets a little pick set. Now he'll toss it out to Thorpe on the left side, to Zamaron on the left base. He'll throw it over to Sanchez, drives in on the right base and takes it right to the rack and up and in. Sanchez with 3 points and gives Artesia the 4-point lead, their biggest of the ball game. Tayton to the front court, takes it coast to coast, and they will call the charge on Tayton instead of the block on Deans. His first personal, 7th turnover on the Cats, and the next time down, Artesia will be in the bonus. That's the 16th foul on Lovington. 2 turnovers in the quarter for the Cats, 7 overall. 4-point lead for the Bulldogs, 4:49 remaining in the first half. Sanchez for three, and he'll roll it in from the left side. Just pulled up and casually laid it up there as Coach Casey Pack is livid. 4:41 remaining in the first half. Artesia 20, Lovington 13, back in 60 on KZOR. I guess we won't be taking a break, but we will say a big thank you to our friends at D&L Meters. D&L Metering for all of your metering needs. It's D&L Meters, proud supporters of Wildcat basketball, and also Battle Energy. Battle Energy Services for all of your oil field energy service needs. Battle Energy, proud supporters of all Lee County athletics and the Lovington Wildcats. With Dawn Morgan, I'm TJ Miracle.
Important for Lovington to come out, battle back, get some points back. They can't afford to get down further than this. This is the largest lead that Artesia's had in the game so far, and they want them to be able to stretch this out any further.
Yeah, 20-13, a 7-point lead. This is where the danger zone is, because Lovington cannot just continue to trade baskets. They have got to find a way to get back into this one.
Right. Force some turnovers, create some more offensive looks.
And now, just 5, make that 4 rebounds as a team for Lovington. They are getting killed on the glass. Lovington basketball out of the timeout as we come back to it. Near side to Arroyo. Arroyo works against Sanchez to Tayton, working about 5 feet from the arc. Now back to Arroyo. No look pass to Aguilera. Deans on him tight. Get it into the left baseline. Now back out. Aguilera left corner for 3. In and out. But Perez is there with the rebound and the putback. And Perez will get his own rebound. Misses the putback again. Joseph missed 2 point blank before Zamaron comes away with it. Back down. Flip it to Barrera. Now Zamaron top of the arc. 3 ball on the way, and it's good. 23-13. Just like that, a 10-point lead.
And Artesia's made 4 straight baskets.
Bulldog pit has come to life. Arroyo runs into a wall, uses up the dribble, tosses it out. Lovington needs to respond on this possession. Tayton to Arroyo. Now to Aguilera. Little head fake, takes it in, push shot from 10. That one's off the back of the arc. Perez with the rebound, resets it to Arroyo. Julian moves it around under pressure from Sanchez. Now back out to Tayton. It's Coach Casey Pack. Signals that what he wants. Coach Caden Bailey over there barking out instructions as well. Off the screen, Tayton inside but loses the dribble. 8 turnover. Near side, Becerra loses the basketball, and that one is going to slide out of bounds and give it to Lovington. The 8th turnover for Artesia. Artesia wanted a foul on that. Barrera went down all by his lonesome. 3:12 remaining in the first half. Lovington has gone on a cold streak. They have got 1 point in the whole quarter. They haven't scored in about 5.5 minutes of clock time.
That's right. They haven't made a basket other than the free throw in the second quarter.
Yeah, no basket at all in the second quarter. They cannot afford a slow quarter. They need to find that extra gear and find it now. To Isaac Henson near side, back to Hilliard. Hilliard to Aguilera, thinks about the 3, gives to give it back out to Tayton. Now Isaac, as they put 2 men on him, they know he can drain him if you give him the chance. Back to Henson, 3-pointer on the way, and bang!
Right, Ensign got free and proved what you just said.
23-16, Lovington trying to chip away at it. They're going to have to play tight defense. Sanchez thinks about launching a more than NBA three, gives it to Thorpe for the left corner in the NBA three, and off the iron and into the hands of Hilliard. Hilliard forward to Betancourt. He'll pull it out in the left wing, give it back to Tayton. 2:24 remaining here in the first half. 23-16, Lovington trails. It is win or go home here in the playoffs. Tayton throws it inside to Isaac, gets it back out to Aguilera. Give it on the right base to Betancourt, and he'll fall away and put it up and in. Betancourt under intense pressure gets his 7th point of the ball game. Lovington closes back to within 5. To Thorpe, slings it near side to Wesson. He launches the three from the right wing. It is off the mark, and Betancourt will have the rebound. That's his 2nd. Lovington just going to slow it down a little bit with 1:45 remaining in the first half. To Henson, to Hilliard, to Aguilera. Back to Tayton. He'll bounce it over to Isaac. Brings it in on the left base and thinks about taking it, but he'll move it out as Zamaron got over there quickly to block him up. Off of the pick from Perez to Isaac. He'll drive it in. He'll put up the push, and he is going to be fouled as he put it up from the left block. That'll put Henson at the line for 2. And they're going to whistle that on Campbell, who just checked into the ball game. His first personal 16 foul. And so it'll put Isaac Henson at the line for 2. Chance to cut into it a little bit further with $1:23 remaining here in the first half. Isaac puts up the first and misses it. Not a 60% free throw shooter on the season. Betancourt will check out. Corrales will check in for the Wildcats. Thorpe checks out. Deans will check back in for the Bulldogs. So Isaac at the line, missed the first, trying to chip into it. Puts up the second and gets that one to fall. He's got 4 points in the ball game. 23-19. Back to a 4-point ball game. Into the front court comes Sanchez. He looks over at Coach Mondragon, working against Corrales. Stays on him tight. Swing it over to Wesson. He'll pull the 3-ball trigger, and it rattles home from the left corner. Diego Wesson hits the 3-ball. 26-19. Push it forward to Isaac. Thought about going deep left corner. I'm glad he didn't. Nobody there. To the free throw line with Perez. Now back to Tayton, and he'll fall away from 18. No good, and it'll be Corrales with the rebound. Now Lovington will start working it around again. Under a minute to play, first half. Tayton to Corrales. Little head fake, drives it in to Henson. On him tight as Barrera. Dangerous pass. Isaac looking for some room. Back to Corrales. Bounce it out, and they'll reset with Aguilera. 35 seconds remaining first half. 26-19, Artesia in the lead. Aguilera gets a screen from Perez, takes it to the free throw line, loses the ball off of his foot. It's loose on the court. Tayton will get it back and drives in, and he is going to get fouled as Peyton Dean's going to get whistled for his second, 17th foul. Artesia should get an Academy Award for the faces they're making when they get called for a foul. So that'll put Tayton Hilliard at the line. You can probably hear some of the orange-clad faithful behind us saying what they think of the men in stripes. Tayton at the line, front into the 1-and-1. Will miss that one, but it'll be Corrales with the rebound. Lovington will rope. Corrales loses it. That'll be the ninth turnover for Lovington. 26-19, a 7-point lead for the Bulldogs. They will play for the last shot. Sanchez to the front court, works against Corrales, takes it on the far sideline, pulls up, he'll push one up from 3-point distance, fight for the rebound. Perez gets it and then gets tied up, and possession arrow will stay with Artesia. So he got the rebound but then tied up. 10th turnover for the Cats. So Artesia with 4 seconds to go will play for the last shot, up by 7. Sanchez looks to get it in. Will to Zamaron, who drives in and is going to get fouled. The question is it on Perez or is it on Henson? I think they're going to call it on Perez. That'll be his first personal, 17th foul. Zamaron, it will be a shooting foul. Napa Zamaron 0 for 1.
Yeah, just 2.9 seconds left on the clock before the second quarter is over.
Zamaron to shoot 2, puts up the first, and that one is off the mark. He's got 5 in the ball game. As Chance Campbell will check into the ball game, another tree for Artesia. Coming on, misses the first. He'll eye the second. Puts it up, and that one is off the mark, and he'll get his own rebound, and his putback won't fall, and no rebound at the buzzer. We head to halftime. The Cats with some work to do. They trail the Bulldogs 26-19. We're back in 3 minutes for your Wildcat halftime report here on Z94 KZOR. Welcome back to Wildcat Basketball here on Z94 KZOR. Alongside Dawn Morgan, I'm TJ Miracle, Megan Auto. In studio engineering and producing halftime here at the Bulldog Pit. Lovington trailing Artesia 26-19. Let's take a look at the numbers in the first half of this one. For the Artesia Bulldogs, Nick Sanchez leads the way for the Dogs. He's got 6 points. The 3 players for Artesia with 5 points. Jake Barrera, Riley Jarrett, and Zapa Zamaron, each with 5. 3 points for Diego Wesson, 2 points for Cameron Thorpe. Leading rebounder is Jarrett, 7 rebounds for the tall senior center. 14 rebounds total as a team for Artesia. They had their trouble from the free throw line, just 2 of 7 from the stripe. 8 turnovers in the first half. 10 points in the first, 16 in the second. Puts them to their 26 on the board. Turning the page for your Lovington Wildcats. Andrew Betancourt, who got the start tonight, leads the way with 7 points for Lovington, 5 for Tayton Hilliard, 4 for Isaac Henson, 3 for Javier Corrales, and that is the scoring for your Wildcats. Perez leads the way with 5 rebounds. Joseph finally finding a little room and ripping down the boards. 13 rebounds as a team for Lovington, so not far off the mark in that one. 10 turnovers, though, in that first half. Not so good. And from the free throw line, Lovington had their troubles, too. They were just 2 of 5 from the charity stripe. Lovington 12 points in the first, but only 7 in the second, and that's how they find themselves in a 7-point hole here at halftime.
So 13 rebounds as a team for Lovington in the first half, and how many for Artesia?
14.
14, not far off
But
from that.
they had 4 on one single possession.
Right. There were 5 looks at a basket that ended up with an Artesia bucket.
Yep.
And so that's kind of inflated. So and 10 turnovers for Lovington, 8 for Artesia. Again, not far off from each other. But here is where some of the disparity in the scoring becomes apparent. Artesia was 4 of 7 shooting from the floor in the first quarter, 6 of 13 in the second. That brings them 10 of 20, exactly 50% shooting from the floor, not counting free throws. Lovington was 5 of 11 shooting in the first quarter, only 2 of 9 in the second quarter.
Ouch.
They had a very slow and low-scoring quarter in that second quarter. That is really where Artesia was able to stretch it out. All total, they are 7 of 20. That's 35% shooting. So that's better than they did against Artesia the whole game last time. That was about 29% shooting from the floor against Artesia last Friday. So they're already doing better in that department, but that shows you they are shooting 35%. Artesia shooting 50%, and that's about the same.
And that's about the difference in the game.
That's about the difference in the game right there. So that is something that Lovington needs to work on. They're going to have to create more offensive opportunities for them. So they're going to have to make those baskets from the opportunities they're creating. They had a lot of looks at the basket, 20 of those in that first half, but they only managed to sink 7 of those. And a couple of those, of course, were 3-pointers. So,
right. So
they do have some area that they're doing better on than they did last Friday, and they're staying right with Artesia, really, in terms of rebounding and turnovers. But they need to improve
on the shooting percentage.
Exactly, improve their shooting.
Well, and one thing that I've noticed about Artesia, of course, right, when you're in the heat of the battle, you can't really, talk about it as much. Artesia and Coach Mondragon have decided they are not going to let Lovington penetrate the paint. They're going to make Lovington beat them from the outside. Now, the way you do that, you've got to get them moving. And Artesia's given Lovington plenty of space to move until they try and go into the lanes or into the paint. And then all of a sudden, you've got 4 Artesia Bulldogs, and Lovington's just going to have to throw it out.
And they do.
One thing Lovington can do is they can continue to attack when they're on those moves and try and draw the fouls, or they can get the outside shooting going. But that seems to be Artesia's game plan, is make Lovington beat you from the outside. So we'll see what happens in the second half. Lovington with some work to do. 26-19. Artesia in the lead of this winner go home opening round of the playoffs. We're back in 2 minutes for the start of the second half. Wildcat playoff basketball on Z94 KZOR. Welcome back to Lovington Wildcat playoff basketball here on Z94 KZOR. Getting ready for the start of the second half. Lovington trailing Artesia 26-19. Alongside Dawn Morgan, I'm TJ Miracle. Megan Otto in studio engineering and producing. Some scores from other Lee County games tonight. On our triple header, it is halftime down at Panther Gym in Jowl. The Jowl Panthers right now leading the Clayton Yellow Jackets 29-20. That game at the half on the Lee County News and Sports YouTube channel. And at Tasker Arena tonight at halftime, it is Hobbs leading Farmington 41-36 on our sister station Z94 KZOR. Now back to the action here. Lovington with some work to do, trailing by 7, underway in the third quarter.
I'd like to see them play like their hair is on fire. Just go for it. Just really pick up the pace, press, and just really work on turning over the ball, forcing more turnovers. Just put on a show.
Yeah,
they don't have anything to lose.
Yeah, they didn't put the full court press on in the first half. Maybe time to do it. It'll be Hilliard to Perez as Lovington being very methodical. 30 seconds gone here in the quarter as Henson back out to Betancourt. Thinks about the three, now takes it into the left lane and puts it off the glass and good. Dandrick Betancourt with 9 points leads the way for the Cats. Back down on the fast break the other way. Thorpe got behind the defense and lays it in. 28-21, the teams trade buckets to start the third. Artesia in the lead, 7:11 remaining. Here in the third, Aguilera off a screen to Betancourt, pushing over to Tayton. Hilliard goes through the legs and loses the basketball and out of bounds. The 11th turnover for the Cats, and give it back to Artesia. And Lovington came out of the locker room, and we noticed that the body language was not all that great.
Let's just hope they had grim determination.
That's what we're going to go with. To Zamaron, top of the arc, a three-pointer on the way, no good. He'll wind up with his own rebound, his fourth, and there's a fight for it, and finally going to be popped up, and Aguilera forces the turnover, and he'll get it.
Way to stay with it, Adam.
Aguilera from Henson into the front court between the rings. 6.5 remaining. Lovington trails by 7 here in the third. Tayton will start the drive in, but be run out by Sanchez. Somehow gets it to the left block, puts up the right-hand push shot, no good, and it'll go out of bounds. Should be last touched by Jarrett, I'm thinking.
Man, how many in and out shots has Lovington made tonight, too?
It's been a bunch. So it'll be Isaac Henson to inbound it from the left baseline. Tosses in high to Adam Aguilera. Now he'll get it around to Tayton. To Henson in the paint, and he is going to get fouled. He attacked on Sanchez, back down, and Sanchez hacked him. That'll be his second personal, first team foul in the half. I like that. If you're going to do it, back them down, make them foul you. So Isaac will inbound it again, left baseline. Got to get him moving to Tayton. Throw it out to Perez. Perez back to Henson. Hilliard and loses the basketball as Thorpe gets it, but tosses it out of bounds, so no turnover. Lovington getting a little sloppy with the ball a couple of times here early in the third quarter.
I hope it's just they're just anxious, maybe trying to really pick up the pace.
Well, they need to start moving. They're pretty much just letting the trees camp out. And another tip by Sanchez. It'll stay Lovington basketball right to our right. Henson inbounds to Hilliard near the timeline. 6 minutes exactly remaining in the third. Tayton goes between the legs, gives it to Betancourt, now to Aguilera. He works against Barrera. Bounce pass back to Zadrick at the free throw line. Toss it out to Isaac. Three ball and bang from the right wing. Isaac Henson, second tray of the ball game. Lovington chips it back down to a 4-point Artesia lead. 28-24, 5.5 remaining in the third. Fastball to Sanchez in front of his own bench. Artesia basketball backing up near the timeline. Isaac on him a little bit tighter. Toss it to Barrera. Now bounce pass to Deans on the right base. To the free throw line. The fall away from Jarrett. No good. And into the hands of Tayton, his fourth. Hilliard will bring it back down himself. Slows it up. Now takes it from the right to the left. Puts up the push shot. No good, but Betancourt will get the rebound. Lovington will reset in the right wing with Aguilera. To Perez in the right base. I thought he was going to go from the right elbow. Instead, they'll reset. Look for the higher percentage shot. Hand it off to Tayton as Coach Pack tells him, move him around, move him around. to Isaac to Adam. Aguilera from the right wing, handoff to Perez. He'll take a three ball, and that one is going to be in and out, but the rebound going to be made on the far side by Henson, his first of the game. Isaac takes it from the left to the right, gives it off to Aguilera. Now handed off to Betancourt. They're setting the picks and the screens for each other. Now to Tayton into the paint to Betancourt, right wing for three, and that one is off the mark, and the rebound by Jarrett for Artesia. All that time and come up empty to Barrera, and a whistle sounds, and timeout going to be taken by Coach Mondragon. I think he probably just cost himself a bucket. 4:23 remaining here in the third. It's Artesia 28, Lovington 24. Back in a minute on KZOR. Out of the Artesia timeout, back here for Lovington Wildcat basketball from the Bulldog Pit in Artesia. I'm TJ Miracle alongside Don Morgan. Artesia basketball, they lead by 4:23 remaining in the third. It'll be Thorpe to inbound right baseline for the Bulldogs. Gets it in right at the 5 count to Deans between the ring on the long inbound. To Sanchez, now to Barrera, left corner, three ball on the way. That one is off the mark, and Henson with the rebound.
Really nice fight for that rebound. Good one from Henson.
And he got position and went over Jarrett. Well, they'll hand it off in the front court. Aguilera gets a screen from Perez to Betancourt. Halfway done in the third. Lovington trails by 4. To Perez.
Try to work Henson free again. He's popped some threes.
Back to Tayton to Betancourt to Aguilera in front of the Lovington bench. Aguilera takes it left corner, works against Barrera to Betancourt to Perez. Now back near side to Isaac. Isaac to Perez, works against Jarrett. Now they'll work it back out to Betancourt, who works against Deans, top of the arc. To Tayton at the free throw line and pop it from 15.
Nice, we'll take it, right?
Tayton with 7 points, and just like that, Lovington has chipped it down to a 2-point lead. To Barrera in front of the bench, right side, now to Thorpe. To Deans, throw the fastball. Jarrett has trouble with it in the paint. Gets stripped away. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touched by Adam Aguilera.
Tough. Good hustle to finally just lose it out of bounds. That's always it's tough, but I like the aggression. I like what Lovington is doing, and they're within 2 points.
So Lovington has chipped away at it as Thorpe to inbound from the right baseline. Gets it into Sanchez. Thinks about pulling the three ball, but getting to him quickly is Isaac. Goes in, picks up the dribble, and then he travels on the right base. That'll be the 10th turnover for the Bulldogs, and give it back to Lovington. Kind of a sloppy inbound and goes out of bounds by Thorpe. Lovington cannot be that lackadaisical, Dawn.
No, they've really got to stay sharp. Pick it up.
Credit to Artesia. They saw they were kind of being a little lazy on it, and they almost took advantage of it. 28-26, Lovington trails by 2. Henson to the left base, picks up the dribble, tosses to Aguilera. Artesia has picked up their defensive pressure. Aguilera to Betancourt. Dadrick to Isaac. Henson now to Perez. Takes it to the right block, gives it back to Aguilera. Fall away, three from the right side, and bang! Adam Aguilera's first bucket of the ball game gives Lovington the 1-point lead. Bounce it to Wesson in the right wing. Moves it to the deep right corner, now drives in right base, and he'll put it up off the glass off of the push. 5 points for Diego Wesson. The back and forth continues. 30-29, Artesia leads by 1. 2:18 in the third. Aguilera to Henson to Hilliard, back to Hilliard. Working around, Aguilera right wing, three ball, and that one is off the mark, but Betancourt with the rebound and the putback, and he's fouled.
And you know, Zedrick, he wasn't quite in position to be able to control that enough to get the bucket in, but But because of the position he was in, he did get fouled. So it's kind of like you couldn't get both, right? We weren't going to get the bucket and the foul.
Going to be on Deans. That'll be his third personal.
But he was in a great position. So
Betancourt at the line to shoot 2. It's up the first, and it is in and out.
Boy, it is so hard to watch the ball go in and out on a regular shot, whether it's a layup, a basket, or whether it's a free throw. As you have it, and then it's robbed from you, right? It's stolen.
Betancourt misses the first, alive the second. It is on the way, and that one is going to fall off the mark, and the ball will go out of bounds, and last touched by Henson. It'll be Artesia basketball. Lovington trailing by 1, 30-29. The Lovington faithful not liking it. The Artesia faithful liking it just fine, although they're unhappy about a lot of things. Sanchez will come into the front court. It's a little screen from Jarrett to Wesson. Deep right corner to Zamaron to Thorpe. Left corner. 3-ball. That one off the mark. Off of the tip and still fighting for the rebound. Finally, Wesson will come with it. He will slide through the lane. Get fouled as he puts up the leaner that misses. He'll head to the line, and they're going to call the push on Isaac Henson, his third personal, first team foul. And Wesson should go to the line for 2.
So Lovington shooting 3 of 6 from the floor in this third quarter, and Artesia only 2 of 6.
Wesson puts up the first and gets that one to roll. So he gets the first one, makes it 31-29 in favor of the Bulldogs. 1:45 remaining in the third.
Lovington doing a good job coming out this third quarter, and
second for Wesson is up. That one off the mark, and Tatum with the rebound, his 5th.
Erasing that deficit.
Hilliard to Aguilera, drives right base, goes in and misses off of the mark, and Wesson will get the rebound, his 2nd. To Sanchez, who brings it up in front of the scorer's table, picks up the dribble, needs some help, will push it to Thorpe, takes it to the left block, puts up the little push shot from 10, and it's good. Thorpe with 6 points in the ball game.
Lovington needs to answer.
Artesia stretched it back out to a 4-point lead, 33-29. 1:15 remaining in the third.
And Lovington's woes having trouble getting it inside.
Tails him, move it around, bounce it to Betancourt, and he is going to be blocked by Thorpe. And into the hands of Zamarin, his 5th rebound. That one did touch glass before it went to Wesson, deep right corner for 3, and bang! Diego Wesson drains his second 3-ball of the ball game, and just like that, Lovington had chipped away a 7-point deficit to a 1-point lead. Now they're down by 7 again. Tatum to Aguilera, Wesson on him tight. Give it off to Betancourt. They'll move it around. Julian Arroyo check back in, controls. Lovington basketball, gets a screen, takes it in, and he's going to be fouled by Wesson. That'll be his first personal, 3rd team foul on the Bulldogs. It is on the floor. Betancourt checks out, Corrales checks in. Also checking into the ball game. Oh, that's Aguilera. He's just going to stay in. I thought he was going to the bench. So Aguilera to inbound it with 28 seconds to go in the third. Lovington needing a score on this possession, trailing by 7. To Aguilera, takes the handoff to Tatum, gets a screen from Perez. Little spin move, Aguilera to the free throw line, drives it in, puts it high off the glass, no good. Zamaron with the rebound, his 6th. Leave it for Wesson, pushes it to Thorpe and out of bounds and into the crowd. Turnover number 11 for the Bulldogs.
So it'll be Lovington ball. 7.5 seconds left to play in this third quarter.
Trailing by 7. Tatum to the front court. Picks it up. Fall back, and yep, they're going to call the travel before he got the shot off, or did they call the foul? Nope, they called the travel. 12th turnover for the Cats. He kind of slid a little bit, so 1 second to go, and they put Sanchez in. Look for him to take the half-court shot.
Well, Artesia made a half-court shot last Friday night, and the Artesia girls made a half-court shot against Lovington.
As Wesson puts it up, and they will wave it off. It didn't go in anyway, so we head to the fourth. It's Artesia 36, Lovington 29. We're back in 1 minute for the fourth quarter. Don't miss it on Z94 KZOR Hobbs Lovington. Welcome back to Lovington Wildcat basketball. Fourth quarter here in the opening round of the 4A playoffs. Lovington with some work to do, 36-29. With Dawn Morgan, I'm TJ Miracle. Artesia basketball as we start the fourth. Lovington has got to come out and put their foot on the pedal. Thorpe to Barrera. Inside to Jarrett, and the left block puts it up. No good, but Zamaron with the rebound. His putback will be fouled. So Zamaron heads to the line where he is 0 of 3. Gonna call it on Aguilera, his second personal, just the second team foul on Lovington. And Don, in that third quarter, Lovington chipped it away and actually at one point had a 1-point lead, but then Artesia came storming back.
Well, each team scored 10 points in that third quarter.
Zamaron gets the first. He's got 6 points now. Back up to an 8-point Artesia lead, 37-29. Zamaron.
Artesia did it on 4 of 9 shooting. Lovington on 4 of 10 shooting.
Zamaron gets them both to fall. He's got 7 points for the Bulldogs. And a bad inbound and touched by Arroyo. Julian, don't bark. It'll be a turnover for the Wildcats. Julian Barkin saying that it was touched by Artesia. Don't get teed up, young man. So the turnover will give it to Artesia in their offensive end, and it'll be tipped, and it'll be saved, and off of Artesia, Lovington basketball. Whoa, things could get a little bit chippy here. The kids are getting mad. Both coaches are griping. Matter of fact, Casey and Michael are barking at each other across the way. Oh, it's Lovington basketball with their work cut out for them, trailing by 9. 7.5 to go in the ballgame. Tayton fall away from 15 and good from the right side, left side. Tayton with 9 points, along with Betancourt, leads the way for the Cats. Back to a 7-point Artesia lead. To Barrera. Works it to the right side, bounce it to Jarrett in the right base. His shot is up and no good, but he'll get his own rebound, his 9th. And the putback is up and good for Jarrett. He's got 7 points. 7 minutes remaining in the ball game. A 9-point Artesia lead. Lovington needs to find that extra gear if they want their season to continue. Tayton to Corrales. Now working around to Aguilera. Aguilera tosses to Perez. Perez to Hilliard in the right wing. Takes it to the right elbow. Crosses over to the right block and fall away from 12 is good. Tayton with 11 points, and a whistle sounds. Timeout going to be taken. 6:43 remaining in the ball game. Artesia 40, Lovington 33. We're back in a minute on KZOR. Welcome back to Lovington Wildcat basketball, opening round of the playoffs here at the Bulldog Pit in Artesia. Artesia with the 7-point lead. It'll be Artesia basketball out of the Lovington timeout. Sanchez to Thorpe to Barrera, deep left corner for 3. That one is off the mark, and it'll be Zamaron with his 8th rebound. His putback won't fall though, and Tayton will save the rebound. That'll be his 6th. Aguilera controls, gives it right back to Hilliard. Hilliard to the front court, drives it in, throws it underneath to a wide open Perez on the right base and up and in. They have not managed to get that working all game until right now. Back to a 5-point Artesia lead. To Jarrett to Barrera, right wing, cycles it back around to Sanchez. Perez on him tight, tries to move in, travel no call to Zamaron. Bounce to Jarrett, he gets stripped out into the hands of Arroyo. Julian will bring it back down underneath to Perez, and he's going to get hammered by Sanchez, and that'll put the Cats at the line for 2. Should be the third personal on Sanchez. It will be. It'll be the fourth team foul on the Bulldogs. And Perez at the line.
And in this fourth quarter, Lovington is 3 of 3 from the floor. Artesia, 2 of 5.
So at the line, Perez, he's only about 30% from the free throw line. He needs them now, though. Joseph puts up the first, and it is off the left iron.
Oh, Lovington has needed the free throws, and
right now
they
they're
have
just
not been there.
Just 2 of 8 in the game from the charity stripe. Artesia not doing much better. They're only 4 of 11.
5-point lead by Artesia here. 5:52 left to play in this game. Lovington's got to make it happen now.
Perez puts up the second, and that one is good. He's got 3 points in the ball game. 4-point Artesia lead with 5:50 remaining. Sanchez in front of the scorer's table, brings it across the timeline. Gonna slow things up with his team up by 4. Coach Mondragon telling him what he wants, telling him move it around, start the cycle. Sanchez to Wesson, who has been one of the biggest cat killers of the night. Bounce it to Deans. He loses the ball on the baseline. It is loose, goes out of bounds, and they're going to say stays Artesia basketball with Deans on top of it. I don't know how that happened, but that ref was right on top of it. I'll take his word for it. Thorpe bounce to Jarrett, gets stripped out, and it'll go out of bounds. Should be Lovington basketball. As Jarrett tried to corral it and fumbled it around. Nope, they're going to say Artesia gets to keep it, so it'll be Thorpe again from the right baseline.
Good pressure by Lovington, though, because they've got to force some turnovers and make some baskets off of those turnovers.
Thorpe throws it in high, and Betancourt bumps him. Yep,
Zadrick on it.
Yep, that'll be his second personal. Third team foul on the Cats. So we'll play another inbound with 5:28 to go in the ball game and a 4-point Artesia lead. Coach Casey Pack is not happy. I think the official saying, yeah, he bumped him, Coach. It was right here in front of us, and he did bump him. So they'll inbound it now from in front of the Artesia bench. Thorpe to Sanchez as he's going to move Wesson back near him. Now Wesson will control things, picks up the dribble to Thorpe near side. Clock continues to move with 5:15 to Wesson, NBA 3 right wing, and it's good. Diego Wesson has his third tray of the ball game, has 12 points, leads the way for the Bulldogs. Where's that kid been all year? He's having the game of his career here in the opening round of the playoffs. Unfortunately, it's happening against our Cats. You like to see that when it doesn't happen against you. 43-36, Lovington trails. They've got to get a little more fire and urgency going. Henson tosses it to Aguilera and throws it away. 14th turnover for the Wildcats, and give it back to Artesia. 7-point Artesia lead. Really, it's going to come back to that second quarter if it kind of stays like this, where Lovington just kind of went to sleep offensively. Sanchez to the front court. Lovington finally going to try and trap him up, and timeout taken by Coach Mondragon. It'll be a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. And remind you, Lovington Wildcat basketball brought to you in part by Battle Energy. Battle Energy, proud supporters of Lovington Wildcat Athletics. For all your oil field service needs, Battle Energy. Lovington Wildcat basketball is also brought to you by the good folks at D&L Meters. D&L Meters in Lovington, an institution in the oil field and in the Love City. D&L Meters, proud to have them as supporters of the Lovington Wildcats. 43-36 here at the Bulldog Pit. Artesia in the lead with Dawn Morgan. I'm TJ Miracle. Megan Auto producing and engineering tonight. Artesia basketball out of the Bulldog timeout. Lovington has got to pick the intensity and the pressure up, Dawn. They have done it a little here in the fourth, but they've got to put it in overdrive now.
That's right, because Artesia can basically just kind of sit on the ball, work it around.
Sanchez, a little oopsie, but gets it to Deans, gets it right back. He'll pull the three-point trigger, won't go, fight for the rebound. Aguilera winds up with his first board of the ball game. Lovington needing to capitalize. Tayton brings it near side, directs traffic, tosses to Aguilera, back to Tayton, to Isaac. He works against Wesson, picks up the dribble to Aguilera, and a whistle sounds. Timeout taken by Coach Casey Pack. So with 4:08 to go, let's go ahead and take the timeout. 4:08 remaining in the ball game. Artesia 43, Lovington 36. We're back in 60 on KZOR. Welcome back to Wildcat Playoff Basketball here on Z94 KZOR. Lovington basketball out of the timeout. I think Coach Casey Pack trying to get a little more fire in his troops out there as we are at the halfway point of the fourth quarter and they trail by 7. Hilliard with the basketball, gives it to Aguilera. Aguilera cycles it from the right to the left, works against Wesson, hands it off to Tayton. From the free throw line, fall away, jumper is good. Tayton has got that 12 to 15 footer down pat.
Nice,
Tayton.
Very nice.
43-38, back to a 5-point lead to Wesson, who drives into the right lane, puts up the shot, no good, and they will call the foul on to Arroyo. Arroyo couldn't get the feet set. His first personal, 4th team foul, and Wesson heads to the line for 2, where he is 1 for 2. 3:42 remaining in the ball game. It is win or go home. As Wesson will put up the first and gets the shooter's roll over the iron. He's got 13 points and leads the charge for Artesia. Steens checks out, Barrera checks back in for the Bulldogs. Now Wesson made the first. He will eye the second. Puts the right toe on the stripe, bends the knee, puts up the second, and gets them both to fall. 14 points for Diego Wesson. Gets it back up to a 7-point Bulldog lead. Hilliard to the front court. Hands it off to Aguilera. 3:35 to go. To Perez. Drives in. Tosses out. Arroyo, top of the arc for 3. Gets bumped. No call behind the play, and the rebound by Jarrett, his 10th. Back in the hands of Artesia. Lovington finally putting on a full court press. To Wesson. Gets stripped by Henson, and Isaac misses the point-blank layup, and Wesson gets the rebound, but then steps on the line. But no timeout taken by Artesia before he can step on the line. Henson misses the point-blank layup. It is a 30-second timeout for Artesia, so we will keep it right here. But Lovington finally putting on the press dog.
Right, and that's something I said, at the beginning of the third quarter. I wish they'd come out looking this urgent, right? Look this urgent, look like this concerned about that. Now, they did come out in that third quarter. They chipped away, and they erased a 7-point deficit, went in the lead briefly, and then went back down. But now, in the last few minutes of the game, now they're looking extremely urgent, and they're looking sharp, like they really want to force turnovers, make those points, and win this game.
So it'll be Artesia basketball. They'll have Thorpe inbound it from the left baseline. Lovington going to put the full court pressure on, trailing by 7. 3:14 remaining in the ball game. Push it into Wesson. He'll toss it to Barrera, who will get it into the offensive zone. Throws it underneath and almost stolen away by the Cats. Tayton knocked it away, and Isaac playing trailer couldn't get it on the fly. It'll go out of bounds. It'll be Artesia basketball.
Yeah, when the Cats are pressing, they're energized.
As now Mason Enriquez will check in for Julian Arroyo.
They just look like they enjoy and play better when they're really pressing and picking up the pace.
Wesson to inbound from the right base. Tosses into Thorpe, who drives through the middle, puts up the point-blank shot, misses it, gets his own rebound. He'll miss it again. And finally, it'll be Henson who comes away with it. Henson to Enriquez, to Perez on the right base, and misses the point-blank layup. Jarrett with another rebound, leaves it for Sanchez. And back down come the Bulldogs. Lovington trying to trap him up. Barrera throws the fastball to Thorpe. 2:44 to go. Back to Barrera, to Wesson. Toss it back out near the timeline. Barrera work it around to Thorpe.
Yeah, Artesia
throws it over and going to be knocked away, but into the hands of Jarrett, who goes with the reverse layup, but it rolls off, gets his own rebound, but then he's blocked out, but they're going to call the foul on Isaac. Jarrett was wiggling those arms around like a snake. No way you could not have contact when he's doing that. So they're going to call that on Henson. That'll be his 4th personal, 5th team foul on the Cats. And they're going to say it's on the floor. So 2:28 remaining in the ball game. Wesson to inbound from the left baseline. I don't know how they can say that wasn't a shooting foul. I kind of agree with the loudmouths behind us. Jared misses the point-blank push, and it'll be into the hands of Mason Enriquez. Mason tosses to Henson. Oh, Isaac, you got to take that shot. The fall away from Hilliard is good. Bang! Hilliard with 16 points. Full court press is on. Thorpe into the front court off of the Hail Mary and then into the bench. Lovington putting on the pressure. 15th turnover for the Bulldogs.
And you just have the feeling that if Lovington had been putting on the pressure on Artesia, they would have created more opportunities and some turnovers for themselves and kind of rattled Artesia, because it happens.
To Tayton. He gets it into the front court, and he's going to get stripped out by Wesson, who loses it. Nope, he keeps it. It'll be the 15th turnover for the Cats. And a whistle sounds. Timeout going to be taken by Coach Mondragon before the tie-up can happen. With 1:50 remaining in the ball game,
wow.
Artesia 45, Lovington 41. Back in a minute on KZOR. Out of the Artesia timeout, it'll be Bulldog basketball. Welcome back to Lovington Wildcat playoff basketball here on KZOR. 45-41. Artesia in the lead with $1:50 remaining in the ball game. Wesson to inbound it. Gets it in right at the 5 count to Barrera. He'll bounce it to Thorpe, who brings it into the front court. Almost gets his pocket picked, but he'll push it back to Barrera. In front of the Artesia bench, Barrera with the basketball. Lovington comes back. Ball is going to be loose on the court, and they are going to call the jump ball. They will call the jump. Lovington basketball. 16th turnover for Artesia. Lovington will get the ball back with 97 seconds remaining. Artesia wanting the foul, not going to get it. It was a mad scramble for it after it got knocked away. So Lovington down by 3. Tayton leaves it off. Aguilera dumps it off to Henson. To Perez, right wing for 3, and that one is off the mark. Aguilera goes over everybody for the rebound. To Perez, to Henson. Hesitation move, toss it around. Cats gotta move. To Aguilera, slips on the floor, gets it back to Perez, uses up the dribble, needs help. To Tayton, the fall away from 3, and bang! Top of the arc, Tayton Hilliard gets the Cats back to within 1. And the Cats will take their final time out of the ball game. 45-44, 1 minute to go, Dawn Morgan. The Cardiac Cats are back in town.
They are here, and we have a 1-point game with just, not
1 minute to go.
1 minute left, and that's a lot of time in basketball. However, with Casey Pack taking his last time out with this, and now it's really going to be
fouls to
give, and it's going to be incumbent on Lovington to try to hang on to the ball. When they've got it, they've got to try to get it back when they don't, and they've got to try to drop a shot and maybe draw a foul.
45-44, Artesia in the lead. Bulldog basketball. Now Lovington out of timeouts. The full court press will be on. Perez, Henson, Hilliard, Aguilera, and Enriquez on the floor for the Cats. Sanchez trying to get it in for the Bulldogs and gets it in just at 5 to Thorpe. To Wesson, back to Thorpe. Coming near side, and Tayton will steal it, trying to steal it, but right back into the hands of Sanchez. Weaves through traffic, bumps in, pushes off. No call, and they're going to call the block on Perez. Perez picks up his second personal, 16th foul on the Cats. It is on the court, on the floor. So it'll stay Artesia basketball. So inbounding it from the right baseline will be Wesson. Wesson, Barrera, Sanchez, Thorpe, and Jarrett on the floor. As Wesson gets it in at about the 4 3/4 mark to Sanchez. Backs it up near the timeline. Tayton gonna pick up Sanchez. Little spin move, directs traffic, comes near side to Barrera. Barrera bounce pass to Wesson. Lovington going to try and trap him up with Henson and Hilliard. Somehow splits him, throws it underneath to a cutting Jarrett, who lays it in. He's got 9. 3-point Artesia lead, 20 seconds to go. Aguilera to Enriquez, push it to Henson. Henson to the free throw line to Perez. To Enriquez, gets bumped, and they're going to call that one on Sanchez. Fourth personal on Sanchez, fifth team foul on Artesia, but only 20 seconds to go in the ball game. So it's got to be a 3 or 2 and an and one. Now into Enriquez, gets it to Aguilera. 15 seconds to go. Artesia, 3-point lead. Aguilera to Henson, 3 on the way. It is off the mark, and a foul going to be called as Tayton heads to the line for 3.
Wow.
And let's see, are they going to call that on Thorpe? They will. That'll be his second personal. 16 foul on Artesia, and Tayton goes to the line with a chance to tie it up. 3 shots from the free throw line for Tayton Hilliard. First on the way, and money. 47-45, 20 points in the books for Tayton Hilliard. Tayton with the second, and it is good. 47-46. Now 10 seconds remaining in the ball game, and one more free throw to go. So the third on the way for Tayton Hilliard, a chance to tie it, and gets the ball, and we are tied. And we have got a fight away from the basketball. Perez and Jarrett squaring up, and both going to the floor, wrestling moves. Are they going to call offsetting? I think they might. As Tayton Hilliard says, let's get loud, Lovington. The officials are going to talk about what's going on. They're just going to wave it off. I think it'll be Artesia basketball with 10 seconds. Yep, they're just going to wave it off, looks like.
Just say they fouled each other, basically.
Yeah, they're going to say non-intentional on either side, and they just went to the floor. They got tangled up, in essence. No foul on anybody. No harm, no foul. But the final timeout will be taken by Coach Michael Mondragon. We'll keep it right here. 10 seconds to go, Dawn. All tied at 47.
Yeah. Artesia's going to look at hanging on the ball, play for the last shot. And Lovington's going to try to steal the ball and get their last shot. So,
yeah, if not, we're going to overtime. But Lovington is going to look to steal the inbound. You've got to think.
They've got to be as aggressive as they can without fouling.
As Hilliard gives Enriquez, telling him exactly what they want to do. And they're going to send Enriquez back to guard Jarrett. He's going to play bird dog in the paint. So it'll be Wesson to inbound it from the left baseline. 10 seconds to go. All tied at 47. Wesson looks to inbound it. Gets it into Barrera. Still in the backcourt. Tosses forward, and Tayton will knock it away. It'll stay Bulldog basketball just to our right on the sideline.
Yep.
So the near sideline with 7 seconds to go. Lovington going to keep the pressure on. They've got Henson back to guard in the backcourt. He's barking out who to guard and where they're going. Wesson to inbound near sideline, just to our right. Gets it in at 4 to Sanchez. He'll toss it over to Barrera. 3 at the buzzer is good! Barrera drains the tray, and at the buzzer, Artesia on a buzzer beater wins the game 50-47. Heartbreak for the Lovington Wildcats as the Cats season ends on a last-second 3-ball, 50-47. We'll be back in 3 minutes for the Wildcat season wrap-up. This is Wildcat basketball on KZOR. Welcome back to Lovington Wildcat basketball, playoff basketball on Z94 KZOR Heartbreaker. A last-second three ball by Artesia puts the Bulldogs in front for good, 50-47. Taking a look at the numbers in this one, leading the way for Artesia actually is Diego Wesson coming off the bench. He had 14 points, 8 points for Jake Barrera, but none bigger than the three-pointer from the deep left corner with 1.9 seconds remaining. That was the nail in the coffin. 9 points for Riley Jarrett, but he finishes up with 12 rebounds. 7 points for Zappa Zamaron. Then you got 6 in the books for Nick Sanchez and 6 for Cameron Thorpe. Artesia's leading rebounder, as we mentioned, Zamaron with 12, Jarrett with 12. They go 7 of 13 from the free throw line. Turn the ball over 16 times. Get 10 in the first, 16 in the second, 10 in the third, 14 in the fourth. That's where they get their 50 on the board. Turning the page for your Lovington Wildcats and their scorers tonight. Leading scorer Tayton Hilliard with 22. 9 points for Zadrick Betancourt. Then you had 7 points for Isaac Henson, then 3 apiece for Adam Aguilera and for Zadrick Betancourt.
All right.
Yes, Dawn. 6 of 12 from the free throw line. Leading rebounder was Tayton Hilliard. Lovington as a team, 24 rebounds, 15 turnovers, 18 points in that fourth quarter, but just too little, too late.
Yeah, that third quarter, that slow third quarter for Lovington just really killed them. They went 2 of 9 shooting in that third quarter. Now they came out, that fourth quarter was great, but they just started, it was just too little too late, and they got outperformed by Artesia all in all in the entirety of that game. Artesia ended up shooting 29 of 40 from the floor, not counting free throws. Lovington ended up shooting 16 of 39 from the floor, not counting free throws, that is. But that third slow quarter really nailed them. That second quarter, actually, when they were 2 of 9, that second quarter, and they just didn't do enough in the third quarter to get themselves out of it. They stayed even as both teams in that third quarter scored 10 points. But that second quarter, I'm sorry, I misspoke, that second quarter was really slow, and that's really what killed them.
7 points in the second quarter.
Yeah, they just didn't do enough in that third quarter to come out of that deficit. And then the fourth quarter, yes, they finally, it became an electric ball game, and they looked like they were really invested and wanted to win and were shooting better, but it was just a little too late, and it came down to that final possession, that final shot from the corner, and Artesia made their shots really when they counted. But let's talk about the free throws under pressure. What an amazing performance at the line there to tie it up in that last minute of play.
With 10 seconds to go,
the 10 seconds to go, and that was amazing free throw shooting there at the line by Tayton Hilliard. It was pretty incredible. So exciting. Again, it came down to, it was an exciting game, especially during that last few minutes, but unfortunately not the way that Lovington wanted it to turn out. And they end up losing again by just a few points. That's what's so tough. Yeah. Is you can lose by 10 or 15 and play the coulda, woulda, shoulda game, but it doesn't sting as much as when you lose it on a last second on a buzzer beater by just 2 or 3 points in this instance. It's just it's hard to take.
Yeah, it certainly is. Of course, the Lovington Wildcats falling again tonight, our final 50-47, and a lot of seniors on this squad, Dawn.
Yes, 7 seniors on this squad, actually. Aguilera, Hilliard, Henson, Enriquez, Corrales, Villalobos, and Perez, all graduating at the end of this year. So that's a lot of leadership and experience that Lovington is going to lose with those guys. But they do, have some bright spots, and they do see Julian Arroyo and Anson Marquez and Zadrick Betancourt, all 3 of them sophomores, having seen a lot of game time this year. So they do have some experience in seasoning, but they are going to be a very young team next season, a very young team with But hopefully they're going to have this the last couple 3 seasons that have been very solid for Lovington as something to shoot for and as something to build on.
Absolutely. Of course, the Cats going to finish the season at 20-9, still a very good record. Getting to the playoffs, very respectable. You hate that we had to play Artesia in the first round, but it is what it is. Looks like we're probably going to go 2 for 3 tonight in Lee County basketball action as the Jowl Panthers get by Clayton tonight, 63-46. Looks like they'll probably be taking the long road trip to Gallup to play Rehoboth on Tuesday. I haven't checked that score.
I think Wednesday.
Wednesday. It is Wednesday.
Right.
Thank you. Wednesday, not Tuesday. And Hobbs in command of Farmington late in the fourth, 80-63.
Okay.
So looks like we'll go 2 of 3 in Lee County basketball tonight. So we'll take one more 30-second timeout, come back and wrap it up. This is Wildcat playoff basketball from KZOR. Back here, Lovington Wildcat postgame show on Z94 KZOR. The Cats fall tonight in the opening round of the playoffs at the Bulldog Pit to Artesia, 50-47. With Dawn Morgan, I'm TJ Miracle. So final thoughts on this one and on the Wildcat season, Dawn?
Well, the Wildcats, congratulations on a good season overall. They certainly played better than their season record indicates, but they had so many very close games and losses by just a point, 2 or 3, just like this one tonight. So it's tough to see that, but it's good to acknowledge the fact that that Lovington did so well during this season, and good luck to those seniors who certainly gave us a lot of entertaining games. Lovington has been fun to watch, a fun team to watch, entertaining basketball, exciting basketball all season long. So thanks to those student athletes doing as well as they did this season.
Well, absolutely. Couldn't have said it any better myself. And with that, my friends, we will put a wrap on this 2021-2022 Lovington Wildcat basketball season as the Cats come into Artesia, but come up just a bit short, 50-47. Our final. For Megan Otto in studio engineering and producing, for Dawn Morgan, I'm TJ Miracle saying so long from Artesia. This has been an exclusive presentation of Walmart Digital and Z94 KZOR Sports with rights granted by the Lovington Schools and the New Mexico Activities Association. Good night, everybody. Have a great weekend.